You're all welcome. For the purpose of those who are just joining us, we warmly welcome you. My name is Victor, and I will be your driver for this learning session this afternoon. Today, the subject we'll be treating will be learning through is stop wasting administrative time and effort, automate document processing in the public sector. It's important everyone is committed to this process, is committed to this learning, because as an employer, as an employee, as someone who values time and resource, you would really frown at anything or anyone who is committed to wasting your time or your effort. And that's one thing we would be addressing today. And I mean it when I tell you that our facilitators will be running us through some very deep technological process that can help us to bring to the barest minimum these experiences in our everyday working life. Let's go on to the next slide as we just establish some ground and house rules to say. This session is being recorded and uploaded on our social media channels. We live in a global village today, and it's very important we let everyone know that we respect your space and your privacy. However, for the purpose of the global village, this session is being recorded to share with a larger audience that for some reasons are not available to join us. There would be snippets that would be cut, shared across our various social handles. So in case you stumble on one of those records, find yourself in it, engage with those content, and let the let those who are viewing know that you will be alive and present during that session. Also, it's important I let you know that we are listening to you, even though we can't see you. We're listening to you. Engage us as we proceed in this session. You can raise your hands to ask questions. You can use the chat room, the Q&A. We are paying attention to you. If you come to this session with questions, concerns, be rest assured that we would not let you go until you're satisfied enough with that. I said already that ask us questions and we would be willing, more than willing, to provide answers to that. So let's give a quick overview to the organization that is hosting today's session. Interesting. I pride myself to be a member of this organization, Cecure Intelligence Limited. We're a solution builder. We apply technology to drive effectiveness, agility, and growth for businesses. Businesses that cuts across small, medium, or large enterprises, no matter the shape, the size, and the current reality of the business. If you want to scale your businesses to the global audience, you want to build infrastructures and a couple of others, we are that organization that you can reach out to. This is what we do at Cecure Intelligence Limited, and it's on this premise we've come to share this knowledge. We put together this session to help you to know more about technological use in your various processes and how you can position yourself for global exploits. It's on this note I would want to pass on this session to our first facilitator, Mutiat Olariwaju. Hello, good afternoon, Mutiat. Kindly confirm you can hear me.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Victor.
Thank you very much. In a local palace in where I am at the moment, it's the Grand Holy. Over to you, Mutiat.
Okay, thank you, Victor, for that brief introduction. Just like what the topic says, stop wasting administrative time and effort, automate document processing in public sector. So I'll quickly walk us through the agenda we have for you today, starting with what document processing is all about, the challenges that we face while trying to process our documents, the solution we have for you, but we need to build a foundation. That's why we have the key terms, the A and ML stack, before we move to the solutions, which are Amazon Textract, Amazon Comprehend. Then we show you the use cases and let you see some practical demo while we see when we see everything that's being said to be performed. Moving to what document processing is all about. In today's world, you see many employees spending hours or many times manually processing documents, trying to fill out forms, and handling a lot of paperwork. And trying to keep track of these records and ensuring that there is accuracy in this document processing might be kind of challenging. Basically, document processing is just about you trying to get one or two informations from any document. It can be data, it can be in image form, it can be a scanned document, trying to get one or two informations from this data, and digitalize it. Yours might not be invoice, yours might be passports, yours might be ID card, or even medical reports, patient records. Anyhow, we face a lot of challenges trying to manually process these documents, and it's kind of time consuming because when you manually input this data, you encounter a lot of inconsistency, and it lacks data validation because you will not be able to validate efficiently the documents or the information that you've gotten and the one that you've not gotten. And at the end, it's not cost effective. It makes us to spend more. We spend more in terms of money, in terms of time, even resources. We spend a lot. What solutions do we have? How can we solve this problem? How can we automate document processing? Before moving to the solution, let's try to build a foundation by letting us know some key terms, starting with NLP, which is natural language processing, NLU, which is natural language understanding, NLG, natural language generation. NLU and NLG are just like subsets of natural language processing. And what natural language processing is basically ability of our computer to understand and derive meaning from human languages. And human languages can be in form of speech, it can be in form of text. So it can be in form of speech, it can be in form of text. And the computer has the ability to extract information from this documents or the language that we've said that's been said by human, while natural language understandings goes by trying to get what meaning has been derived, understand the meaning that has been derived in this speech or text that is being gotten, and it's understanding meaning. If we say that this person is 23 years, natural language understanding will know that we are talking about someone's age. And that's what natural language understanding is. Natural language generation is about we getting insights, trying to generate human-like text. We all see how we have many AI-powered platform now, whereby you can ask a machine or a computer to explain something to you. It generates the text for you, and it will be like it's human being that have written those things or that have composed the letter or whatsoever or the document. Now you can even say that, okay, I want doctor to prescribe something, or I want to write a memo. I need a template for a memo. While this computer will write a sample memo for you on anything that you want to, on anything that you request for. That's what natural language understanding is. Generates human-like languages. And OCR is another technology on its own. Is optical character recognition, and it's basically convert handwritten text into machine readable text. Beyond OCR is what we have for you today, and that is what Amazon Textract that's when Amazon Textract comes in. And what is Amazon Textract? Before I move to that, I will try to quickly show us the AWS machine learning stack. And this stack is a comprehensive set of services that are provided by AWS, and it enables organizations to build, train, and deploy machine learning models that can scale to any length. And as you can see, it includes ranges of different services from different stages of machine learning workflow. It ranges from data processing, data preparation, to model training, inference, and even to development. And we can see at a part here, we have text and documents, and that's our focus for today. And under that, we have Amazon Textract and Amazon Comprehend. Amazon Textract and Amazon Comprehend, they are the services that in this stack that are specifically designed for document processing. And we'll focus on these two for today. So moving down to what Amazon Textract is all about. Amazon Textract, they are uses machine learning to automatically extract text. And what is machine learning? It's basically, just from the name, machine learning, ability of machine to learn from experience, to learn and derive meaning from data or documents without necessarily being programmed. And it has high performance. So that's what powered Amazon Textract. It uses machine learning to extract text from scanned documents. Just like I said, beyond optical character recognition, Amazon Textract has the ability to extract valuable information from forms, images, and it can also identify structured data like table, and even unstructured data like your handwritten text. Moving down to, what are the benefits that we get from this Amazon Textract? The previous slide, please. These things that all what I said Amazon Textract does, it does this automatically and quickly. In fact, when you use Amazon Textract, it shows you the confidence score, because if maybe you have a signature on it in a text, in a document, and Amazon Textract, you try to process the documents using Amazon Textract. Amazon Textract will let you know that in this document, there are one or two signature in this document. And it will tell you the confidence score that I'm 98% sure that there is one signature in this document. And this Amazon Textract, you don't really need much code or templates to maintain, and it saves a lot of costs compared to you trying to manually process your documents. It ensures data accuracy and security, and it's also increase our efficiency and productivity, because we save a lot in terms of time, effort, and resources. So moving down to the next solution that we'll have, which is Amazon Comprehend. Amazon Comprehend, we have Amazon Comprehend, we have Amazon Comprehend Medical. Amazon Comprehend is just like a general purpose natural language processing service that AWS offered. I've explained what natural language processing is, and this Comprehend is used for analyzing and extracting insights from various types of text, from various type of text. Amazon Comprehend Medical is like specifically designed for medical for healthcare industry. It's a specialized NLP service. It extracts medical information from any medical text. It might be medical reports, it might be patient record, or even medical research. And Amazon Comprehend ensures that you might be wondering, or you might be thinking that we deals with, and when we are talking about medical or healthcare industry, it's important that we consider privacy and security because we have some protected health information. Amazon Comprehend Medical takes care of this. One of the things that it does is that it identifies relationship among extracted health information. And what do I mean by this relationship? The relationship might be symptoms, it might be diagnosis, or even treatment. Amazon comprehends, we identify this in any medical reports or even patient record. It also enables healthcare to gain deeper insights from their documents. It can also link extracted information from ontologies, like trying to know that this is the particular thing. It gets the linkage, it allows linkage so that we'll be able to understand the data properly. And it also implements patient data privacy solution. With Amazon Comprehend, you don't need to worry too much about is my data secure, or will there be privacy, because Amazon Comprehend Medical is HIPAA eligible service offered by AWS. So it puts all those things into consideration. With all these solutions that we provide, we get a lot of benefits, because if we use Amazon Textract, Amazon Comprehend to automate our document processing, we end up increasing our efficiency and productivity. We save a lot of cost. We also increase accessibility because we've digitalized our documents and it can be accessible anywhere, and that facilitates good collaboration, because even if you are not in my location, we'll be able to collaborate on these documents. Like I said, it also ensures data accuracy and security, and it improves compliance and audit. It also enables us, it helps us in decision making and lets us to have good reports in our documents, and many more. So at this point, I'll be handing over to Tolu to walk us through the use cases, the domain that we majorly needs to automate our document processing and the rest of the demo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mutia. I want to believe you can hear me. Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Tolu. Please go.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mutia, once again for that very insightful introduction to AWS services for automating documents. I'll be taking us through some relevant domains where we can leverage these AWS services that we can use for automating our documents. One is the healthcare domain, where you have patient medical records, like Mutia has mentioned already. You have doctor's notes, prescriptions, and various other documents in the healthcare industry that you usually want to automate and you want to extract information from. I mean, you can always leverage Amazon Textract, Comprehend Medical, and even other AWS AI ML services like Kendra and some storage services as well. We are still on the domains. So for the domains, we have the education sector, we have the government sector as well. For the education sector, I would want us to understand that we have students that usually submit their forms, students enrolling forms, then they have other documents like even their class notes. You can actually get this automated. Their assignments, you can get that automated using AWS services like Textract. Once they have that, they just take a picture of whatever they have, or they scan it as a PDF document, and we take this through the AWS services that Mutiat has already shared with us earlier, and which we'll still go into. There is a lot you can do with these services for automating documents. For the government industry, we have different government parastatals and ministries where you usually deal with documents. I mean, which sector doesn't have documents involved, especially in developing countries? I mean, there are a lot of documents that you want to move from the analog system to the digital system, right? Going forward, we'll talk about human resources as well. Human resources, you have employees that you want to go through the CV, you want to get information from their CVs and even the employee forms. Let's move on to the architecture. I would want to show us a quick architecture diagram in this place. This just shows us a use case that we can have. We can have the client upload a document from his, let's say, phone or device. And once he uploads this document, it goes to the backend through a serverless infrastructure where you don't have to worry about provisioning these services. Basically, everything is done for you by AWS under the backbone of AWS, right? And the response is given back to that user. Let's move on to the demo for today. For today, our demo, I would be sharing my screen now to show us some of the services that Mutiat has mentioned earlier. Okay. Okay. Yes. Just a second. I would like to share my screen. I want to believe we can all see my screen. Can we all see my screen?
Yes, we
Hello?
can. So we can see it.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is Amazon Textract. Textract is a service that extracts extracts information basically from your documents, like images and PDF scan documents. So here we have a sample statement, and if we look at this statement, we have different type of information that we can get from here. We have tables. We also have signatures, handwritten signatures, like Mutiat mentioned in the presentation. So we can also extract form data from your documents. For example, as key value pairs, you extract those form data. You extract your structured data in form of tables. We also have tables here. If we can see the tables, if we look at this particular table, this one is being extracted here, the period ending and that. We also have IDs. We can analyze your IDs. So this is an example of an ID, like a driver's license or any type of identification card. You can always analyze that. You can also analyze your receipts and your expenses. And there is a lot of things that you can do with Textract. Textract also has this new feature known as queries, where you can use natural language querying. For example, you just query what is the gross pay for that year, and then Textract is able to give you the information from that. Finally, for Textracts, just to show us, we are able to extract signature as well. So you can extract signature with a confidence score, like we have here. We have a very high confidence, and the reason for this confidence is so that you can do what we call validation and introduce a human in the loop system to your processes. Moving on from here, I would want to show us Comprehend Medical today in today's demo. I know we are going to get a lot of information and insights from this, because this is a secure intelligence product, Cecure OCR, which we have built here. And what you just have to do is to upload an image and you get the text returned back to you. So I'd like to show us my image that I want to demo for us today. This is a doctor's note from a patient medical examination. And we're going to upload that document now. And once I upload it, I get the information. You can see it's converting it, and then I get that information. Now, how are we able to integrate this with Comprehend? So without using this console, we can actually integrate it in the back end, but I just want to show us a quick feature of Comprehend Medical right from the console. So we're going to copy from the subjective region to the assessment of this patient, and we're going to paste it here, and we'll click Analyze. So what this does is that it is able to extract medical entities such as the protected health information. You have the diagnosis and different types of procedures, medical procedures under entities. We also have RX norm concept. We have the ICD-10 ontology linkages, the SNOMED CT concept. Let me start with RX norm. RX norm basically just extracts entities from prescriptions. So, for example, from our extracted text here, this Solumedrol is a prescription, and the Benadryl, once we get that from there and I paste it into this area, I can click Analyze. Once I click Analyze, I just go to RX norm, and you'll see that this Solumedrol is a brand name, right? And then you get the dosage, you get the route, you get the frequency as well, and you get various other information from that. Likewise, for the previous one, we also have some other ontology linkages that we can get from the SNOMED, which is a systemized nomenclature of medical terms. Okay. So we have SNOMED CT concepts here. Okay. So we can see the diagnosis and the various system organ information like that. That would bring us to the close of this brief demo. I trust that we were able to gain one or two things from that. Some quarters. Victor, please, can you help me with the slides? So I want to show us some quarters that we want to keep in mind whenever we are leveraging medical, Comprehend Medical. Yes, thank you. So some quarters like for the SNOMED CT transactions per second, you want to keep in mind that you can just do 2 transactions per second. So if we want, this is for the synchronous API calls, right? We have the synchronous API calls and we have the asynchronous. Basically, what that means is real time versus batch. So you can process many documents. You do that on that batch. But if you have a single document, like what I did with our product Cecure OCR, we use the synchronous API here to process that, basically. Let's move on to the next. Yeah, so these are some other quarters that we want to keep in mind. This junction, I would like to hand over to Victor. Thank you very much.
Victor, you're on mute if you're talking.
Oh my God, apologies. I never realized I was still muted. Thank you very much, Tolu. Thank you, Mutiat, for such an insightful session. I mean, while Mutiat was talking, I was remembering a time I was serving in a government parastatal, and I was like, this would have actually made a lot of sense if I was still in that institute, because I would have gone to do a lot of practical in that. Just before we go and we see questions, I would want to ask a question. Let me direct that question quickly to Mutiat. Mutiat, so we looking through the demo Tolu took us through. My head was some things were playing around in my head, and I was saying, is this not time consuming? I mean, I would have to learn the whole use of Textract and all of that. Would you want to speak to that bit? You might have participants who, at this moment, might say this is time consuming. What would you have to say to that, please?
Okay, time consuming, do you mean the process of extracting the information, or I didn't get that?
Yes. The process of imputing and extracting the information.
Okay, well, I can't say it's time consuming, because the main reason why we are automating document processing is not because maybe we just want to get one information. It might be easy when all you need to do is to get a name from an ID card. But when it comes to large volume of documents, when you want to process large volume of documents, then you realize that you need to automate this process. And that is when you will know that the time you spend when trying to just, all you need to do now is to upload just the whole document, and it extracts the necessary information that you want, just like what Olu has shared. You can query your documents instead of you manually checking each of these documents one after the other and trying to get that information, which will not even be accurate, and it will also be prone to error. With that, we can say that the process that we've shown is time consuming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mutiat. Thank you. Let's begin to send in our questions. We will do well to attend to them. Let me ask a question I have on this end. Let me direct this to Tolu this time around. Tolu, so there is a case scenario here that has to do with the health sector. So we get to hear cases of missing files, missing documents, and all of that. Is this going to, if an institution is committing to this process, can we be sure that our documents would be saved for as long as we want them? We want to have access to them.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. About documents persisting, if you would recall, Mutia mentioned something about security and being HIPAA compliant. So what that means is basically or Amazon and us as Amazon AWS partners, we have that responsibility to give you the privilege to save your information, and you are exposed to things like encryption, and for storage, you have your files in your S3 storage systems, and that is going to be there. You're not going to lose it. If Amazon gives you 99.99999 11 nines high availability for your documents, so that means that you lose one document in, like, say 10 years, or not 10 years now, yes, maybe 70 years in a generation.
Wow.
So which means that, you're not going to have your documents safe. And there are other solutions around the health care sector. We have the Amazon Health Lake, which is specifically designed to be FAIR compliant. FAIR compliant means how you move your health documents. There are processes that are involved when you move your health document because of sensitivity issues, security, and the rest of them. I want to believe I answered that.
Thank you very much, Tolu. Thank you very much for re-emphasizing on the earlier thoughts shared by Mutiat. There's a question here. Thomas is asking, or how fast do I initiate or automate hard copies of a lot of? I mean, if you go through the process that has been outlined, you would see that it's very fast, very, very fast. Mutiat, I want to ask. We've seen the old demo. We've seen the breakdown. I mean, the whole flow from your session to lose session and the graphical representations we saw on the screen. Is this going to make me break a bank? Or is cost friendly?
Okay, yes, this is cost
Is it going to make me break a bank?
What do you say?
Is this going to make me break a bank?
No, this is cost effective. I mentioned that when I was telling us about the benefits of Amazon Textract compared to the cost that we are going to spend when we are manually processing our documents. Is cost effective. I would have loved Tolu to show us some of the costs of Amazon Textract and Comprehend, although we might have that or might not have that now, but it's costly, it's cost effective compared to the manual process whereby it costs us more time, more resources, more effort rather than the employees to focus on the strategic tasks. They spend more time trying to manually get information from the paperwork. So it's not just about the money.
Thank you very much. I hear certain bits in what you say. You're saying this will boost staff productivity as staff would have enough time to pay attention to certain responsibilities and not just do manual labor in quotes. And it's saving us a good amount of time. Adewale is asking, does this app work with all documents formats, PDF doc? Yes, it does. I mean, during the demo, Tolu showed us how you could even capture your ID cards, your receipts, your signatures, how you could lift at some point in time using Textract. This has been very insightful. This has been very insightful. Thank you very much for answering that question in the Q&A, Tolu. Yes, any other question? I want to be sure I'm not leaving out any question before Mutiat and Tolu are called upon to give their final thoughts and we call this session one for today. All right, Tolu, let's have your final thoughts for this session. What would you say to the general overview that we presented today on automating document processing in the public sector?
Thank you, Victor. So for final thoughts, I mean, there are a lot of things we can do for the documents processing, right? Various sectors that we mentioned, we talked about the healthcare sector largely, right? We also talked about the education sector, where you have student information and their documents. I mean, for the different formats that was asked, we can also use whichever format you have. It's just a matter of engineering it to fit into what the AWS services accepts. Do you get? And if you're talking of time and cost, I mean, Amazon is where you want to be, right? So I guess that is my bit for the final insights. Whichever use case, you can always bring it up to us. I'm sure we have something for you.
Thank you very much, Tolu. Thank you for your thoughts. Mutiat, let's hear your closing thoughts.
Okay, thank you, Victor. I will just say that it will be very good and it will be cool for if we can have if we can automate document processing whereby as soon as we receive the document, it's being scanned and digitalized and relevant data is being extracted and stored in a secure database. That would be like a very smooth and seamless process, which will improve a lot in all aspects of our organization. Thank you.
I like the phrase you use right here, right rounding up a seamless process. Truly, with the flow we've learned today, this looks very seamless, and I really would hope and believe that everyone who has attended this session would go out to their various space industry and begin to execute in no measure. You can reach out to us and we can guide you through this process. I see someone. Is someone raising up his or her hands? I want to be sure I'm getting that prompt correctly. If you're trying to say something, you could just use the Q&A column. We think that. Can we get the next slide, please, so I can bring closure to our learning session today? Meanwhile, can we just use the emojis to to appreciate our facilitators for today? They've been wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mutiat. Thank you, Tolu, for sharing this insight with us. All right. Having said all that, that would be the end of our presentation today. That would be the end of our presentation today. We're glad you've joined us from where you've joined us from, and we believe that you would put into use the thoughts and the learnings that we've established today. It is possible to achieve a seamless documentation process. You just need to know the technical know-how involved and the tools that are needed to achieve this process, to achieve this purpose. And our facilitators have done very flow. So we say a big thank you to you for joining. In absence of any other question and any further engagement, this is where we will draw the curtain for today's webinar. We will be sharing learning in a short while. One of the things we've saddled ourselves with at Cecure Intelligence Limited is to share knowledge and help people to position themselves for global advancement through the use of various technological processes that is all over in the global space today. I will see you in our next learning time. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now. I remain your humble host, Victor. Have a good afternoon, have a good morning, and have a good evening.